Okay, welcome again to Human Services, Introduction to Human Services. Again, this is your instructor, Ricky Stroud. This week, we will be going over an overview of human services. First, I will give you the program description of human services. The Human Services Program prepares professionals to work in a variety of settings as case managers, advocates, grant writers, youth workers, volunteer coordinators, human services specialists, fundraisers, trainers, paraeducators, or advocacy specialists for victims of child abuse, domestic violence, homelessness, or other social issues. The human services profession promotes improved service delivery systems by addressing not only the quality of direct services, but by also seeking to improve accessibility, accountability, coordination, and collaboration among professionals and agencies to attain the highest quality of life with the least amount of intervention. Graduates are employed in agencies such as the federal, state, and nonprofit organizations, for-profit enterprises, and a variety of societal settings. Many graduates continue their education completing master's degrees in social work, social policy, public administration, vocational rehabilitation, or other types of counseling positions. The major is offered in several universities and distance educational learning universities, deeply rooted in the communities and surrounding areas all over the country. The Human Services major consists of several curriculum studies culminating in Bachelor's of Arts programs. Human Services Workers and Assistants is a generic term for people with various job titles. They usually work on the direction of professionals from a variety of fields such as nursing, psychiatry, psychology, rehabilitative or physical therapy, or social work. The amount of responsibility and supervision they are given varies a great deal. Some have little direct supervision, others work under close direction. Human service workers and assistants provide direct and indirect client services. They assess clients' needs, establish their eligibility for benefits and services, and help clients obtain them. They examine financial documents such as rent receipts and tax payments to determine whether the client is eligible for things like food stamps, Medicaid, welfare, and other human service programs. They also arrange for transportation and escorts if necessary, and provide also emotional support if needed. Human service workers and assistants monitor and keep case records on clients and report progress to supervisors and case managers. Human service workers and assistants also may transport or accompany clients to keep meal sites, adult daycare centers, or to doctor's offices. They may telephone or visit clients' homes to make sure services are being rendered, or to help resolve disagreements, such as those between tenants and landlords. Human service workers, their duties vary according to the job title and their job responsibility. The occupational outlook for human service workers. Human service workers are also sometimes called social services. Social services, except childcare, ranks among the fastest growing industries. About 2 out of 3 jobs are in professional, technical, and service occupations. Human service workers and assistants are the 9th fastest growing occupations and are concentrated in social services. Opportunities for human service workers and assistants are expected to be excellent, particularly for applicants with appropriate post-secondary education. The number of human service workers and assistants is projected to grow much faster than the average for all occupations. Opportunities are expected to be the best in job training programs, residential care facilities, and private social service agencies, which include such services as adult daycare and meal delivery programs. Job training programs are expected to require additional human service workers and assistants. As social welfare policies shift focus from benefit-based programs to work-based initiatives, there will be an increased demand for people to teach job skills to the people who are new to or re-entering the workforce. And let me remind you that due to the economy, many people are out of work and many people are looking for work due to job loss to no fault of their own. And many people are now depending on that work of social service agencies. And so you are now in a very good position to be aid and assisting those people who are now in the unemployment arena due to no fault of their own. Let me give you a brief history during this week of our course of study. The brief history of human services education. During the late 1950s and 1960s, there were dramatic changes in the area of helping those in need. Populations like the poor, the unemployed, children in need, the elderly, the disabled, the substance abuser, and others began to be recognized as needing social and rehabilitation services. About this time, new legislation mandated that those formerly served in state mental hospitals would now be deinstitutionalized and would then henceforth be seen in the communities in which they lived. It was not long before it became obvious that the traditional human resources would not meet the needs of the helping services being offered. The community-based mental health system necessitated that professionals be trained in a different manner. While the provision of mental health services was undergoing these changes, the civil rights movement brought attention to social justice and equity services. Consumers of social services became more involved in advocating for themselves and creating that would meet their own needs. Thus, grassroots, started by the clients level activism, created opportunities for new approaches to human services. Amidst all these changes, a new class of workers was born. Originally called paraprofessionals, these workers were often those who had been served by the helping system and had a better sense of the qualities and skills that were important for those to possess. Thus, what had begun as an informal orientation to helping would soon become formalized as competency-based mental health human services training. To meet the demand for and availability of educational programs based on the development of competencies, the National Institute of Mental Health, or NIMH, in 1956 provided the resources to establish the first associate degree program in mental health at Purdue University. This would be the forerunner of human services programs across the country. It was not long before two-year colleges were offering human services, sometimes called mental health degrees. Four-year colleges were not too far behind in developing and offering bachelor's degrees in human services. Today, the number of certificate, associate, bachelor's, and more recently graduate degrees in human services has grown to more than 500 academic programs. Associate level service degrees continue to be the majority of degrees awarded for human services. The pioneers of human services training and education programs felt that the answer to the workforce shortage was not to train another group of specialized professionals, but to develop an entirely new kind of worker called the generalist. Generalists are trained in a wide variety of helping interventions so that they may provide the direct services to individuals or groups with a diversity of needs. These generalists also work in many different service settings, integrating and coordinating the efforts of specialized professionals. Although graduates may vary from program to program in response to local needs, human service generalists are trained in basic helping skills essential to the helping relationship. These skills include interviewing, observing and recording pertinent information, conducting groups, implementing treatment plans, consulting with other workers and agencies, mobilizing and utilizing community resources, problem solving, advocating for clients, direct support, social skill training. A major component of all human service education is experiential learning, or learning by doing. Programs provide extensive field-based experience or practicum or internships in a variety of community agencies. Such practica allow the student to integrate knowledge and skill and thereby demonstrate competency. And what do human services workers do? Human services workers, or a human service worker, is a generic term for people with a variety of job titles, such as a social service assistant, a case manager, management aide, social work assistant, residential counselor, community support worker, alcohol or drug abuse counselor, mental health technician, child care worker, community outreach worker, life skill counselor, or gerontology aide. They generally work under the direction of a professional from a wide variety of fields, such as nursing, psychiatry, psychology, rehabilitation, or social work. The amount of responsibility and supervision they are given varies a great deal. Some on their own most of the time and have little direct supervision. Others work under close direction. We will talk later about most of these occupations during later parts and most likely in other chapters and in other segments of the course. But that's going to be it for tonight, my friends. And always remember, my success is your success. Your success is my success. Good luck, and we'll talk again next week. See you soon. 678-773 is the text number. 678-773-3235. Always, anytime on a text. 770-981-8487. You can always call me. I'm always here, available. Service with a smile. Talk to you soon. Thank you.